Good morning, everyone. Mrs. Gershon here. Our sort this week is going to take us through a different few spellings, and we're going to be hearing the vowel sound ah this week. Looking at our headers here, we have WA, making our WA words like the word watch, having that A say ah instead of ah, so that watch, ah, ah, ah. We also have a header AL. Now, with this header, you are going to have the A say the ah sound, but you're also going to actually hear the word all. And sometimes in the word, we do have two L's, like in the word small here, and our A isn't going to say ah, it's not going to say smell, it's going to say small. But in a word such as salt, you still hear all, but it's only spelled with one L. So our AL is going to make the A say ah, and then you're going to hear all after it. We have another way to make the ah sound, the spelling OU, like in the word thought. So you again have ah. So this week we have three different ways that we're going to make the ah sound: WA, AL, and OU. Now I'm looking through our list. I'm going to read through and then we'll go through some of our sort because I do see a couple of patterns here. So let's take a look. I'm starting in the first column with watch, walk, though, wand, bald, swap, ought, and cough. Back to the middle, small, salt, calm, talk, wasp, chalk, swat, and also. And then our last category, thought, wash, bought, stock, fought, stall, brought, and almost. Now I'm looking at the word stock here in the last column. Stock actually has a couple different meanings. You could have like the stalk of a plant, which is almost like the stem, but also you can have somebody do the action of stalking, like for instance a cat can be stalking a mouse, following it around. Also stall, I'm looking at the word stall in our third column also. A stall could be a place like where horses sleep and stay inside their stall, but also stall can mean wasting time. Your parents might say to you, stop stalling. So we have a couple words here that have some multiple meanings. We also have the word watch in our first column, looking at something or a watch that you wear on your wrist. So there's a few words here that have multiple meanings. Now let's get back to the sort part of this. Our WA, in like our word watch, making the A say ah, as I go through my list, I'm noticing all of these are at the beginning. All your WAs are at the beginning of their words. So starting those words out with ah with WA in the beginning. I'm looking at our ALs. Again, I told you earlier that with your ALs, the A is going to say ah, but you're going to hear the word all when you say it. So let's go through our first row here, the word bald. You hear all. I'm looking through calm. You hear all. Talk. Chalk. Let's see here. Also, down here in the bottom. Then I have stalk, stall, and almost. I apologize, as I'm looking through my list, as I go through this first column, I do see the WA pattern in the middle of the word, like in the word swap, you still hear ah, and the word swat, you still hear the ah sound when you're putting that W in. So it's not just at the beginning this week, we do see it throughout. And our last pattern, the OU pattern, I'm going to go through. Now, interestingly enough, you're listening for the ah sound, but in our first column, the first OU word, that word is though. So OU is saying the long O sound there. That's going to be our oddball this week. So when you're going through, you're not saying the word through, you're not saying thaw, you're saying though. That OU is making the long O sound. So that's your oddball this week. So let's go through the rest of this. Ought, OU is making the ah sound, cough. Now be careful of that because the GH is making an F sound this week. Okay. Then we have nothing in our middle column. And our last column we have bought, fought, and brought. So again, our A's this week are going to be saying ah with a combination of W making the A say ah, AL making the word say ah, or the A say ah, or all. You'll hear that word all in there. And then we have OU making our O's say ah, except for the exception of the word though in our first column. The OU is making the O say itself, the long O. All right, if you have any questions, please raise your hand. You can always listen to this video again while you're sorting. It's time to grab some scissors, start cutting, and happy sorting.